China is quietly building a tech empire that could rival Silicon Valley, led not by startups, but by giants like Huawei and Tencent. But how exactly are they reshaping the global AI and cloud landscape? Huawei is changing its image to become a major force in AI and cloud infrastructure. It used to be known mostly as a global telecom leader. Even though US sanctions have hurt Huawei's smartphone business, the company has used its strengths in hardware and research and development to become China's second largest cloud provider, with nearly 19% of the home market in Q3 2024. During this time, Huawei Cloud, the company's cloud business, grew by 13, showing strong momentum, even though regulations were in the way. It's hard to separate Huawei's AI plan from its cloud services. Large language models and AI solutions have been used in more than 30 industries and over 400 real-world situations. These include self-driving cars, smart manufacturing, mining, banking, transportation, healthcare, and more. Huawei's pragmatic AI philosophy is shown by products like Pangu 5.0 and its sector-specific variants such as Pangu Steel and Pangu Mining. This philosophy focuses on industrial change and operational efficiency rather than consumer-facing novelty. It has full-stack AI-native technology to go with its advanced software. Ascend AI chips run Huawei's hardware ecosystem and are at the heart of its cloud platforms. Huawei is helping businesses build and use foundational models quickly and on a large scale by using tools like Cloud Matrix and Model Arts. These systems help with everything from training models to deploying them. They have a level of integration that only NVIDIA and Google Cloud can match. Huawei's AI chip ecosystem is a key part of its plan to be resilient. The Ascend 910B and 910C chips are meant to get around US export restrictions, but they are being used more and more in the US. Analysts say that the Ascend 910C performs as well as NVIDIA's A100, at least in some model training situations. Huawei's Cloud Matrix 3 and 84, which has 384 Ascend NPUs and Kunpeng CPUs, is a huge step forward in terms of size and speed for running big AI models. Huawei is still not as good as NVIDIA when it comes to chips, but it is coming up thanks to vertical integration, intense research and development, and putting together chips, custom software stacks like CAN, and a strong cloud infrastructure. This level of vertical synergy between chip and application is very rare, and Huawei is in a great situation to make China much less dependent on Western chips. Huawei officials and AI researchers say that these moves are not only technologically strategic, but also existential. They are meant to make sure that China has fundamental digital independence in a world where technology is fragmented. Harmony S. Next, a next-generation operating system that aims to replace Android and Windows is one of Huawei's most risky projects. Harmony OS Next came out in late 2024 and was first used on the Mate 70 line of smartphones. In May 2025, Huawei PCs started coming with it, and you didn't need a Windows license to use it. Harmony OS is making big steps forward in education, government, healthcare, and consumer markets, with over 1 billion devices, 7.2 million developers, and an app community of more than 20,000 native apps that is growing quickly. Harmony OS Next is unique because it works very well with Huawei's AI environment. Gen AI image editing, voice repair, and smart interaction all happen on the device and are driven by models like Pangu. Huawei wants Harmony OS to be more than just an OS. They want it to be a base for independent computing. By doing this, the company wants to become the third pillar in a world where Apple and Google have long dominated the operating system market. Huawei is working hard to make its home market more stable, while also aggressively growing its business around the world, especially in places that are open to working with Chinese tech companies. The company sends AI chips and cloud infrastructure to the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Oman are some of the most famous places where these products are used. Following the trend of putting the cloud first in the Gulf, it has opened cloud centers in Riyadh and formed partnerships with big telecom companies like Zain KSA. Huawei is also interested in Latin America. Brazil is planning to put money into its data infrastructure to meet the growing demand for cloud and AI services that are tailored to the country's needs. Huawei may not be able to get into some Western markets, but it is making a name for itself in developing countries that want to build technology and don't have to follow US policy. With all of this growth, Huawei is able to keep its strong dedication to talent and research and development. Its Brave New World plan is to hire more than 10,000 AI experts just in 2025, with a focus on building base models, designing chips, and making cloud software. Huawei's Qingpu Lianqiuhu R&D Center, which is close to Shanghai and costs $1 billion, is a huge innovation hub for developing new goods and technologies. Huawei's attention on developing its workforce shows that it knows what it needs to do in the long term. To be a leader in AI, it needs both tools and people who know how to use them. Huawei builds on hardware, but Tencent has grown thanks to its large customer base, especially through WeChat, QQ, and its game empire. Today, though, Tencent is changing its image to show that it is a real AI competitor. Its T1 reasoning model, which came out in 2025, puts logical correctness and inference performance at the top of its list of priorities. Tencent also added Turbo S foundational models, like Hunyuan Turbo, which allow for faster inference and much lower prices. Tencent Cloud already has these models built in, showing a smooth flow from AI to infrastructure. Tencent Cloud has also made progress, now controlling about 15% to 16% of China's market, and expanding through agreements and deployments in other countries. Its plans to become a global cloud provider are strengthened by the fact that it has data centers in Saudi Arabia and Malaysia. These centers are especially important for AI-driven services like game infrastructure, real-time collaboration tools, and AI analytics. Tencent is also putting a lot of money into hiring good people. It wants to hire 28,000 professionals over the next 3 years, including 10,000 interns in 2025. It is building up its skills in areas like cloud computing, foundation models, media AI, and digital education. AI-driven changes in schooling are a key part of its strategy. Together with NamiBox and Sichuan Education Press, Tencent wants to bring augmented reality, ARM, Gen A, and personalized learning into current lessons. This fits in with Tencent's larger plan to expand beyond entertainment. The business is making tools for digital twins, Web3 ecosystems, smart cities, and healthcare diagnostics. These tools are clearing the way for an industrial metaverse. Tencent wants to bring together social, business, and institutional tech under one AI umbrella by connecting these areas with its customers. Tencent has already stocked up on high-end chips, both NVIDIA and Chinese alternatives, because they think the US will put more limits on them. They say they have enough chips to keep AI development going for several generations. This foresight is similar to Huawei's strategy of not making its own chips, but Tencent doesn't have its own silicon, and instead depends on partnerships in different supply chains. Huawei and Tencent are both part of a bigger trend in China. Along with Alibaba and Baidu, they are in charge of building China's future after NVIDIA. Platforms like the Open Atom Foundation make it easier for people to work together on open source frameworks, and government policies urge companies to work together. The recent meeting between Xi Jinping and China's tech elite showed strong support from the government. At the same time, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIIT, is pushing projects like the Digital Silk Road and the Metaverse Roadmap. This is done to make sure that industrial policy is in line with business goals. Huawei and Tencent aren't acting alone, as these group efforts show they're key players in a national tech rebirth. Still, there are many problems. While Huawei's Ascend chips do well in benchmarks, they are still not as good as NVIDIA's CUDA-dominated platforms when it comes to power efficiency and developer ecosystem. It's not easy to move software to Huawei's KN platform. The fact that Huawei's Ascend chips have done well in business, especially in international deals in the Middle East and Latin America. Compare the Pangu 5.0, T1, and Turbo S's performance to that of world leaders like GPT and Gemini. HarmonyOS Next's growth, including the addition of new apps and users moving from Android or Windows to HarmonyOS Next, sustainability innovations by Tencent and Huawei in handling the energy costs of hyperscale AI infrastructure, responses and rules in geopolitics, especially from the US and Europe, and China's ability to use its power in friendly areas. Hit subscribe to stay ahead of the global tech curve.